Hello, traders. Welcome to a new week and welcome to the Good Morning Trading Show. Today is 19th January 2026. And by the way, big shout out to my eldest sister, Margaret Bello. Today is her birthday. All right, so having said that, first thing first is to look at the recap of Friday. We had a few zones on Friday. The first one we had was this support here. The second zone that we had was this resistance up here. And I say that this was what? A supply, a drop, a base, and a drop. However, there are other minor zones, which is what the previous support, that was why I had it in the dashed lines. Okay, I have a liquidity pool here, but market did not come into these areas. Then market began to dance around and create liquidity pool during the New York session. And before you know it, market took out the whole liquidity and tapped into this previous support and gave a massive drop immediately. Moving down to 5 minutes, here is the clean trade. So you can see this liquidity here. Anyhow you intend to draw it, either this liquidity or you decide to say a trend line liquidity. If I take this one out, trend line liquidity was taken out, or this highs here, it was taken out. And look at how market did. Market was stopped into the zone and gave a very clean engulfing candle. This was a very clean setup. Okay, and market did its thing. All right, so that was the trade of Friday. Now let's progress to today. Today is what? First and first is the economics. Today is the 19th day of January. Do we have any news? The only red folder news that we have is the Canadian news, CAD, and that's by 2:30. I only focus on Euro futures, which is the 6E, and it's the same thing as the Euro USD. So we're good to go today. There is no red folder news. Number two is what is the trend. As usual, I reset my chart. What do I have? Market is still coming down, but something unique is happening. Do you notice this? Market was coming down and suddenly you have this big break to the upside. Market still continued down choppily and we had this big break to the upside. Yet market still continued down choppily again. Now we've had this big break to the upside. Trend line has been broken. This high is also taken out. So we're in a downtrend, but by this impulse, it looks as if we are technically in an uptrend. All right? Technically in an uptrend. So the next thing is we're going to be looking for the levels. So what are the levels we're going to be looking at for? First thing is the previous week's high and low. Number two is the previous daily high and low, which is Friday's high and lows. Then any other minor support, resistances, demand and supply that will also fall within the range of these levels. Okay, so let's draw them out. So now we have the black line as the previous week's low. Then we have the black line above as the previous week's high. Okay, we have a blue line here as the what? Previous day's low. That's Friday's low. Then we have this red line here as the previous day's high. That's Friday's high. This is the demand zone that we have here. A very, very beautiful demand zone, number one. But if you notice, this high has already been breached overnight. This supply, this beautiful supply has also been triggered overnight. The levels that have not been triggered yet are this one here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, but note that these might be counter levels because the market has given us an impulse to the upside. So if market comes down, this will be a very valid level, a demand zone that is also located at the previous week's low and at the previous daily low. Number 4 is the pattern. When market comes down to these levels, then we would move down to the lower time frame on 5 minutes to look out for patterns. What else is that I'm going to be putting an alert at these areas. This previous week's low and this previous daily lows. That's why I'm going to be putting my alert number 1. Then I'm also going to put an alert by this level here. So these are the 2 levels I'm going to be placing an alert. The first one is the previous week's low, the previous daily low, which is in confluence with the demand that is here. Then the second place where we have the alert is this resistance here. So that's going to be it, guys. Remember, the process remains the same, but the outcome will always be different. Past performance does not guarantee future results. Trade responsibly and do have a beautiful week ahead. Once again, my name is Sir A.A. James. Bye-bye.